hello, welcome you all for today's class. In this class, we are going to discuss the concept of stress strain curve. Stress strain curve. For this, before going to the concept, let us consider the bar or a wire. It is rigidly fixed at the one end and other end the weight is anchored in the other end. Okay, the stress and the strain is applied overall the uniform cross-sectional wire. Okay, so in this case, the relationship between stress and the strain is studied by plotting a graph of stress versus strain. Let us consider the stress strain curve. Okay, this is a stress strain curve. In this curve, the region O to P, the region OP represents the elastic region. The region OP represents the elastic region, and in this region the stress versus strain is proportionality is observed. The stress versus strain proportionality is observed in this case, and Hooke's law is valid only in this region. Okay, so and also thus P is called proportionality limit. Why it is called so means the stress and the strain is proportionality is observed only in this region, and also the Hooke's law is valid only in this region. So next, consider the region between P and the Q. The P and Q, the material exhibits the elastic behavior, but the dependence between the stress and the strain is not valid, which means the stress and the strain is not observed in this case, and the Q is the elastic limit. And also here the region between P and Q is known as the elastic behavior. It represents the elastic behavior, and also in this region Q represents the elastic limit, and also call it as yield point, and also call it as. Next, the region between Q and S. The region between Q and S, the material possesses the permanent strain. Permanent strain, and also in this case it represents the plastic behavior. The point R represents the plastic behavior of an object. Plastic behavior, and also the material cannot regain its original dimension at any stage. In this case, if the external force applied on the object, the material cannot regain its original condition. If the material can't regain its original condition means the deforming force applied is withdrawn. It traces the curve RT. It traces the curve RT, and the material is said to be permanent set or a permanent strain. Okay. Next, the region X, at the point X, the material corresponds to the maximum strength. The maximum stress takes place in the region or a point at which X, so that the material experiences the point of ultimate strength. The X point is known as ultimate strength. At the point S, the material breaks and the body is no more exist in a single piece, so that the point S is called it as fracture point. Fracture point, and also in this case the stress corresponding to the point S is called breaking stress. breaking stress takes place in the case of point S. Okay, and also the point S is known as fracture point. The region between Q and the X, the region between Q and the S is divided into two types or two sub-regions. What are those? Means QX and XS. Okay, so the QX and XS, in the region QX, it is a type of hardening. In this region there is a hardening takes place, and in this region XS, the region will softens the reduced stress takes place in the region of XS. Okay, so that it is the region between QS and the XS. The region between QX is called, the region between QX is a strain hardening, and and so the region between XS is softens under reduced stress, and it is called the strain softening. Okay, so that these are the points are a content of a stress strain curve. In the stress strain curve, the object takes place was a stress and a strain. The points are elastic region and the elastic behavior, permanent strain and the maximum stress, fracture point, the strain hardening and the strain softening all takes place are studied in the case of stress strain curve. Okay. Next concept is elastic fatigue. What is meant by elastic fatigue means, if consider the object elastic material is placed which is subjected to the number of cycles of loading and unloading. Consider this elastic material. The object is said to be loading and unloading. Thus, the material experiences the repeated strain. During the course, the material experiences the elastic tiredness. The elastic tiredness takes place in the material, so that this is known as elastic fatigue. Okay, in the elastic fatigue, ಈಗ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಒಂದು ಸ್ಪ್ರಿಂಗ್ನ ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀವಿ ಅಂತ ಅಸ್ಯೂಮ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಈ ಸ್ಪ್ರಿಂಗಿಗೆ ನಾವು ಲೋಡು ಅನ್ಲೋಡು ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತೀವಿ ರಿಪೀಟೆಡ್ ಆಗಿ. ಸೊ ಈ ಸರ್ಟನ್ ಪೀರಿಯಡ್ ಆಫ್ ಟೈಮು ಅದು ಸ್ಪ್ರಿಂಗು ಒರಿಜಿನಲ್ ಡೈಮೆನ್ಷನ್ಗೆ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಇಫ್ ಇಟ್ ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂಸ್, ಅದು ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾಗೆ ಅದರಲ್ಲಿರೋವಂಥ ಎಲಾಸ್ಟಿಕ್ ಪ್ರಾಪರ್ಟಿನ, ಎಲಾಸ್ಟಿಕ್ ಬಿಹೇವಿಯರ್ನ ಅದು ಕಳ್ಕೊತಾ ಬರುತ್ತೆ, ಡಿಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಅದನ್ನ ಏನಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ, ಎಲಾಸ್ಟಿಕ್ ಫ್ಯಾಟಿಗ್ಯೂ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. So that the fatigue is an important concern in the case of designing some mechanical instruments and devices like engine pistons and suspension spring, etc. So that the fatigue leads to the failure of the elastic material. The elastic fatigue is a main concern in the preparation of elastic material. Okay, next, the factors affecting elasticity. What are the properties, what are the factors affecting the elasticity? First point, the effect of stress and temperature. The effect of stress due to temperature was one of the factor affecting the elasticity. When the elastic material is subjected to a continuous stress at elevated temperature, it experiences a phenomena called creep. So what is meant by this creep means, it is a property of the material under continuous stress due to which the material develops continuous strain. If we apply the continuous stress to the material, it takes place, the continuous strain will takes place in that material. So that concept is known as creeping. So creep is the property of the material under continuous stress, due to which material develops a continuous strain in the sort of differentiation takes place even below the proportionality limit. When the material is stressed for the larger duration, permanent strain is observed and it mainly leads to the fracture. Okay, so it is one of the factors affecting the elasticity. Next point is annealing. What is meant by this annealing means? Annealing is a process of heat treatment for metals and alloys. In the process of annealing, material is made soft by heating. All the materials get softened while heating. Okay, so the softening or heating a material and later on it cooled gradually. This provides the material good strength and hardness and toughness, so that the tool made for such a material process called the improvement, it improves the elasticity and also the increases the ductility. Okay, annealing softens the material by heating and also it increase while cooling the material gets the strength and it increases the elasticity and ductility. This is one of the major factor of affecting the elasticity. Next point is the effect of impurities. Effect of impurities. The metal consists of additional impurities, right? The additional impurities to the material may either increases or decreases the elasticity, which depends on the material of the impurity. Okay, the material and impurity ಮೇಲೆ ಡಿಪೆಂಡ್ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಈ ಅಡಿಷನಲ್ ಇಂಪ್ಯೂರಿಟಿ ಹಾಕಿರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಅದು ಎಲಾಸ್ಟಿಸಿಟಿನ ಇನ್ಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು ಆರ್ ಡಿಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು. The adding carbon makes it stronger and more elastic. The elastic property of the steel depends on the percentage of carbon in the case of steel. Right? So, on the other hand, the impurities added to the material may result in the cracks. ಅದರ್ ಮೆಟೀರಿಯಲ್ಸ್ನ ಆ್ಯಡ್ ಮಾಡೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಇಂಪ್ಯೂರಿಟಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಕ್ರ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ದೀಸ್ ಆರ್ ದ factors which affect the elasticity. First one is effect of stress while temperature and second one is annealing, the effect of impurities present in the material. These are the factors affecting the elasticity. Okay, thank you all.